Hey, what's up, guys? It's Seacoaster. And I'm back with another one. We're doing something that we did similarly with, like, Pepsi review.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're doing a Dementium II review. You know, we got done playing Dementium II a while ago. A couple months ago now, huh?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
But we decided we want to do a review, and in fact, I got a whole bunch of like footage and stuff, and like I had little pause points in each video where I was like, "Hey, give me a quick second," and I like took like a look around the area and the game's environment to get like good shots. Oh wow, I'm such a dick apparently to my co-host, the guy who's been with me through all this so far.
Steve Trowbridge. You guys have probably heard me talk about my channel on a number of the videos, but I mean, I do just like, videos on various topics. I like to do book readings. I'm doing a reading on not Charles Manson, but Tex Watson's book right now. So if you're interested in any stuff like that, maybe go check out my channel.
And you know what? Check out the video in that corner. And while you're at it, check this out. We got a green screen. Bam, dancing cat. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Whoa, that's a bomb going off in an Iraqi village in 2008. That's fucking wild, dude.
Gotta love those drone strikes.
Whoa. Whoa, you see that? That's cool too. That right there, the advert for my Instagram, that's cool. But whoa, what's that? That's your channel page right there.
Yeah, there it is.
Look at that. There's a photo of Jeckles. Look at that. There's Jeckles.
The best boy.
Guess I'm gonna have to get a photo of Jeckles now for that. That bit's stupid now. But all right, so let's get on to the real nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
And let's talk about Dementium II. Let's talk about the start of the game instead of like jumping into like a straight view and being like, here's the mechanics, here's how this works, blah blah blah. Let's stray away from stupid shit.
So Dementium II starts out. It's in the prison facility.
Yeah, you start out waking up in the prison facility.
Yeah.
Being transported through, obviously, just like the first game. Actually.
Yeah.
But instead of it being like already horror and horrifying, it's more like, whoa, there's stuff going on. It's a hospital.
Yeah.
And as the elevator door opens, you see your wife, which is not as terrifying as seeing your daughter in the first game, which I think that's what that was, right? The elevator door opens in the first game.
Yeah,
you see your dead daughter.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have that up on screen here. I'm gonna actually be honest with you. I'm probably gonna make a lot of use of the green screen. I'll get like footage of the first game's opening, and I'll just play it behind us or some shit.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think it was actually the wife that was being dragged by the cleaver guy.
In what, the first game or?
Yeah. When she's being dragged into, I don't think it was the elevator. I think it was just into some room. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. And in the first game, you find out that like you've been blamed for the murder of your family.
Mm-hmm. The game does a good job of developing the main character, which is William Redmore.
Our name is unconfirmed in the first game, however.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we're doing a recap of Dementium 1 instead of the actual opening 2.
Well, the first game is called Dementium the Ward, so I mean it takes place basically entirely in the mental hospital.
Yeah, and what's the name of that one?
I think it's just Dementium the Ward.
No, I mean the asylum.
Oh, I think it's Redmore Hospital actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
I believe so, yeah.
Which probably is just a nod to the character's actual name.
Yeah.
It's like supposed to be. Oh, actually, clearly, everything's not what it seems. You know, that whole shtick. Which by the way is fun. I actually love the everything is not as it seems trope.
Oh yeah.
That's always a cool thing. Which in like the first game, it literally is that. Like when you start the game, you wake up in a dark hospital room. Like great opening to any game, and like you have zero idea what's going on. You find your journal, which the second page has actual stuff in it that like is like kind of telling you, hey, here's what's up, get out.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I just think it's cool because Dementium the Ward came out in 2007, I think, And to me, it was a horror game, especially for like a handheld device, a game device for like the Nintendo DS. It was way ahead of its time.
Oh, totally.
Like the sound effects, the monsters,
It was
everything.
an actual horror game on the DS, which I never really thought was truly possible, to be honest. Like, yeah, they had Resident Evil Revelations and those games, which weren't even that good. I'm gonna be honest, because I played them. Like, it was a Resident Evil game at heart, and that's fine, and that was totally great. I actually played Revelations on the DS. It was good. It just it's not a horror game. It's horror survival, which even then, horror survival doesn't make sense when it's like I'm killing monsters.
Yeah,
nothing's actually
it's
scaring
like,
me.
Yeah, it's like horror survival is different from like a genuine horror story where you have an atmosphere of suspense and fear building up.
And Dementium 1, yes, would be under the horror and horror survival genre.
Yeah.
But unlike Resident Evil, it's an actual horror atmosphere. We're understanding everything as we're going along.
Yeah.
Where it's like, the first Resident Evil is actually a perfect example. Everybody is in a field, or they all enter the mansion. They all get split up. There's zombies in the mansion. Nothing really horror going on. Like, yeah, I'm killing zombies in the mansion. That's great. It has a good horror atmosphere, I will admit, like the first Resident Evil. But like overall, it's just not the same.
You know, and there is a horror in the sense that, like, you know, at what point are the zombies or the undead going to like overtake you and then like corner you and stuff, and like how long are you actually going to survive and stuff before?
And in Dementium, the Ward, like, obviously, you know, after a while, you have a boatload of guns, you have a boatload of ammo, and then it feels less like a horror game and more like a horror shooter, which is fine. I think that the difference in a slow burn changing is perfectly fine, because after a while, it's more like, okay, I'm no longer the hunted, I have a full arsenal of stuff, I'm now the hunter, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
That's exactly how Dementium the Ward ends. Like, it's clearly like a change between horror, like a real horror game, because, like, again, like I said, the first start of it, it's atmospheric, it's a horror game. You feel like it's a horror game. But as you go on, it's more like, okay, now I'm John Halo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it through this. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna win. And then you kill the doctor, and you wake up, and you weren't. You. There's a chance you were actually in that facility, but like once you've completed the first phase, as it said, like once you defeat the doctor and you escape, you wake up in Dementium II.
Yeah.
And now you're being pushed through a whole nother insane asylum.
And like the endings of both games are kind of left up to interpretation, because it's like, is it actually happening, or are we witnessing like the delusions of a very, very disturbed person, or is it like a simulation?
Yeah.
Or, you know.
So I think I'm gonna say this about the second game's ending. As much as it's up to interpretation, I think it's pretty bold and clear that it's an endless loop. I want to say that, or it's not even just an endless loop. It could be the next step, phase 3, or, you know. So let's talk about all the weapons, I guess, since we're here. We're talking about the gameplay and how the weapons do. When it comes to the artifact, also, I think I might put, like, images on screen, on this, of each of the items as we talk about them. You want to go in order instead?
That's fine.
Talk about each of them? Okay. It's a good thing I remember the order, kind of. So we had the shank, which we've already said. It's our tried and true glory. That thing was our best friend. The revolver,
which was it was okay.
Whenever I'd run out of ammo with it, it would never click that I ran out of ammo, and so like we'd have a moment where I'm like about to start shooting again, and then I'm just like, oh shit, I gotta reload. That was fine. I think if there was an automatic reload system, that would have been really fucking useful. Especially with weapons like the shotgun, 2-round shotgun, and then I have to remember to actually reload it myself, which is kind of annoying. And that's not a bad thing. That's just a genuine critique. Personally, I feel like an auto reload would have been cool. I do have a critique about Dementium 1, speaking of which, but we'll get to that in a second. What was next after that? That was shotgun. Oh, we forgot the one in between the shotgun and revolver. The sledgehammer.
Right. That's what about to bring up. Which, the sledgehammer, I feel like definitely should have been able to do more damage than it did.
In real
Because-
life, if I went at you with a sledgehammer, you would think I'd take you down in one go, or maybe
Yeah.
even two at most, right?
Yeah.
Like with a shank, yeah, I could take a guy down and with a shank in one stab, no duh. But like, you know, if I'm swinging at you like this, it's gonna take a while. The sledgehammer should have been better. I think my main complaint actually with the sledgehammer was it was too slow. The swing was too slow for me to actually want to use it. And like there were multiple times where I was like, let's give it another shot. And then I'd immediately switch to the shank or a different weapon entirely.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like, just as like a, I don't know, like a theory or something before we continue with the weapons. I don't know if it's a case of them just giving us too many weapons, so because there's so many weapons that we get in the game, then they're afraid to make one
Some
weapon
more
after another
powerful.
more effective and more effective than others, so they feel like they instead of making them actually more effective, they just decide, well, we'll just make them like have basically the equal effects.
I think our next weapon is the AK, actually, the assault rifle in the game.
I believe so.
I'm
yeah.
using assault rifle loosely, but the AK was a weapon. Actually, that's really all we can say. Like,
Yeah, it's
30 round magazines, which is accurate to the real portrayal of the weapon. It does damage. It actually worked. My one complaint is we never got enough ammo. Like, we didn't get enough ammo for me to comfortably use it all the time. And when I did have ammo for it, I ran out of it quick.
Yeah. Which I guess you could also commend in and of itself, because that makes it more challenging than
Oh, of course.
the AK.
And the moments I did use it were usually like me just popping off with it
Yeah.
and doing a lot of stuff with it, which was fun. Those were always good moments. There was also moments where I noticed it was occasionally almost just as powerful as a revolver at times.
Which is, I mean,
Funny.
to me that's weird. I don't know, like, you being the gun expert, that would be like strange to you. But
Oh, extremely. Well, so like obviously an AK is either going to be chambered in. I guess we're going a little gun route here. 7.62 by 54R or 7.62 by 39. But no, yeah, that's like no.
yeah,
Like against those cannon hounds, the gun dogs. What did we call them?
The flesh cannons,
Yeah. Yeah. Then we had the funny meatballs.
yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll get to the enemies in a minute. But like the flesh cannons, I would notice because you remember when we kept getting stuck in that area.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I kept going through.
Yeah.
After the shovel, it was after the shovel that
Yeah.
it kept happening. But I kept using the AK on the flesh cannons because I noticed it did as much damage as the revolver. But honestly, I had more ammo in the magazine, so I could just keep going. But like, it wasn't effective at that point. It was so weird.
Yeah, and I kind of theorized that if like we were aiming it like directly into the cannon, that it might have more damage. But actually, as we went on, I don't think that it really had much of an effect at all, as opposed to shooting it elsewhere.
I actually disagree. I think you were right.
Was
to
I
be
right?
honest. I think. I'm not saying you are. I didn't check that much into the forum about that. I might actually after this and put a correction caption. Be like, actually, you guys are right because you guys are cool. So yeah, the next weapon after that, I believe, is the flamethrower.
Didn't we have a shotgun in there somewhere though? Like,
Yeah, we already talked about the shotgun.
Okay.
Oh, we didn't talk about the shotgun actually. We kind of just glazed over
a
it.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about the shotgun. Let's talk about all my complaints about it. You want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, really, all I can say is when I think about a shotgun, I think about a powerful blast that will shoot something off its ass, pretty much. And I mean, that you didn't really have the effect here with this shotgun. It kind of just came across as any other gun that you have in the game. Like with the I don't know what you call them, but like they're like the zombie type things with the open chests.
yeah.
Like,
I think Death Monster or something.
yeah. You would think that if you use a shotgun like one of those, that it would just blast them like on their back, you know. But like,
Yeah. Well, so the thing about that is, I think I might actually put a like little video, like gelatin they use for like guns to see the effects. I think it's called combat gelatin. Don't remember out of the actual name off the top of my head, but I'll put a video of a 12 gauge firing into those to actually show the real effect of it, because, oh, you'd be surprised. Obviously, 12 gauge is extremely powerful. So, yeah, no, your summary is practically accurate, but with that being said, I mean, it's a double barrel shotgun we got our hands on. You know, a
Right.
simple shotgun that fires a 12 gauge munition. Most likely, I can't say for certain that we were given a 12 gauge double barrel, because unfortunately we never really got a good look at the munitions put in it. Like, so we can't tell fully. Like, it could have been a 20 gauge shotgun, so it's like a way smaller round. I mean, it would still do damage nonetheless. It wouldn't be as effective. With that being said, either way, like fucking, it's a shotgun. The second we got our hands on it, you knew I was pretty excited when I got that.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, all right, time to do some work. Was I disappointed that was a pump action? Yes. It made sense for the environment we were in at the time, which was the village, because it was in a cabin. It's clearly a hunter's shotgun.
Yeah.
Some guy was using it for hunting. So that to me is like, okay, this shotgun is just a simple double barrel. So it's like, okay, this will do the work. And literally our first situation with it, we killed an enemy, no problem. Killed another enemy, no problem. No, we killed one of the little worms, no problem.
Yeah.
Then we had like a 2-shot worm, and then I think we went up against a death maw, expecting it to be like a 1-hit weapon.
Oh yeah.
And then what? It was 3 hits, our first
Something
ever
like,
death maw.
I think it was in like 4. I want to say.
So it's like, it was absolutely stupid.
Yeah. Because
Totally
you're expecting like a
non-effective weapon.
tank of a weapon, like a tank of a gun, but it's just like.
So I'm gonna say this: the shotgun is underwhelming, which is really sad to me because I think you know this quite well. I'm a guy who likes his shotguns. I think shotguns are really cool. Yeah. Want to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
So we have a fun one because it's interesting because it's actually a makeshift weapon. Looking even just at the model in the game, you can tell it's not. It's not something you just see lying around anywhere naturally. It was the flamethrower.
Yeah. Which I thought was probably one of the more effective weapons in the game. The problem is that it's very limited. You'll start using it, and then before you know it, it'll be half out. Like of the.
Oh yeah, no. I think literally our first time using it, we immediately ran out.
Yeah, because we were shooting at those like mutated crabs or whatever we called them, and then like.
I forgot. We have a bunch of joke names for
Yeah.
all of everything. Can't wait to go down the list of enemies. But yeah, like my general complaint was the ammo was so scarce that when we tried using it, it was like, okay, maybe we should conserve the ammo, and then I would just use it again because I was like, oh, I need a powerful weapon, flamethrower, and we'd run out of ammo. And like obviously we went and got the special weapon. We'll get to it soon. We'll talk about the funny part soon. Can't wait to put up the footage of me using the special weapon. Do you remember that scene where it's just me in the hallway constantly using it and
Yeah.
knocking everything on its ass? We're not saying the name of it yet because that one's so funny. But I literally was like it was practically useless. It was literally the most useless item in our inventory. Like, you have key items in your inventory that's used to unlock stuff once and we just keep.
Yeah.
Those were more useful than the flamethrower, if you want to get technical. Like, yes, it did a lot of damage, and the few times we used it on anything, fucking did the work.
Oh, yeah.
It was great. We also get to talk about the puzzles and the gameplay and the graphics. But, because I really wanted to touch on the puzzles, because those were good too.
Yeah.
But, so I think after this, we should talk about the enemies.
Yeah,
and we'll
definitely.
talk about graphics and game, and
Yep.
the rest of the gameplay.
Yeah.
But-
There were a few other weapons. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know at one point we had a buzzsaw, right?
Yes, I actually remember all the weapons. We've been going correctly in order. Well, except for the shotgun and such. I kind of fucked that up a little. But, the next weapon I thought was dynamite.
Oh yeah.
Dynamite was fucking great. Might I
Yeah.
say it was quite even possibly dynamite. I hate myself. With that being said,
That would, if you guys know about Tayo Cruz.
oh my god, if you know about
He doesn't put much stuff out nowadays, but
Yeah, but that song's like well known across everywhere.
yeah.
But yeah, no, the dynamite. What to say about it other than it was probably the most powerful weapon in the inventory, actually.
Yeah.
And we just never used it because I wanted to save it for a rare occasion, and then I just never used it.
It's definitely one of those weapons where you have to be careful, because if you like fuck up and like throw it and it doesn't go as far as you thought and it falls in the area where you're close to it, you can kill yourself with it.
And if it doesn't kill you, the other problem is what it would do is it would damage you and set another one off in your inventory. Actually, I don't know if you remember that. So the first time I used it, I would notice you would lose 2 because it would blow up and it'd blow up another one in your inventory. It's really weird that it does that, but you know, it's a cool thing.
Somewhat realistic, I think.
Yeah, totally. I agree with that. Actually, yeah, no, I'd say that's pretty realistic. I mean, if you want to get really realistic, it would have blown up all of them and we'd be dead in an instant. But thank God they didn't do that because the amount of saves we would have to load. Whew. I remember the first time I got the dynamite, I immediately looked at the ground and threw it at my feet. So, yeah. What else can I say to that? But, so with that being said, next weapon. Next weapon is the artifact.
Yeah.
The artifact is really unique because when you throw it, it moves with your cursor. It does not any damage, practically. It was so bad. Useful thing, if you hold right click, it pushes away the ghost. Guess what? You only need to use it once, which is to get to the special weapon.
And there was a good amount of buildup behind it. So
Yeah.
you would think that because of that, it would be a little bit more effective than it actually was, but it really wasn't. So it just felt underwhelming. Like, it's cool to look at, and it helps with the ghosts, like you just said. But
But it was only useful once against the
Yeah.
ghosts. Like, we never dealt with them again after we needed to use it the one time. Which is like, come on, guys. You literally gave us something that is super effective and useful and would have been useful at the beginning of the game when we had to deal with them originally.
right.
And actually, the scene where we get the bones and the shovel, or no, just the bones, is a part where the ghost, where it would have been useful to have that against the ghost, actually.
Yeah.
Which is so stupid to me. Now, in theory, you can argue that actually you're supposed to have the artifact before you go in there to get the bones. Even then, I still found a way to cheat it. So, let's see if that happens in the DS version when we actually play it. See if I can find a way to cheese the game. Hopefully the shrink's useful. That being said, let's move on to our second to last weapon, the buzzsaw. It's a saw. We never used it.
And it buzzes.
Yeah, we really don't know how useful it is. We literally used it like, what, twice?
Yeah, didn't use it very much.
So, it's a saw.
I mean, like, it could be good to, like, if you got enemies, like,
I was
oncoming.
really hoping you just wouldn't say anything.
On-
and just would have just stared at the
Yeah.
camera.
You know, I mean, it's useful for, like, enemies that are oncoming that, like, you can, like, repel them and keep on repelling them for a
Yeah.
little bit. But
Oh, totally. Like, a bunch of death moths would probably have been useful to use it on. But AK was the best option. All along, who would have guessed? Alright, let's talk about the best gun in the game, the most useful, the special weapon, the hidden weapon in the game that you have to go all the way back to the beginning just to get. The nail gun. The nail gun. The nail gun. The nail gun. You want to take it away? Do you want me to?
I mean, I remember, if I remember correctly, it was fucking shitty, right?
If I remember right, it fucking killed everything. One shot, baby. Every time.
Really?
Knocked them right on their ass. And then they'd get back up, and I'd shoot them again. And they'd get on their ass. And they'd get back up, and then I'd shoot them again. And they'd get on their ass. And then they'd get back up, and I'd shoot.
So yeah,
Like he said, it was pretty fucking bad. In fact, this thing is so god awful, I'm gonna put the video of me using it on a horde of death moths right there. That's depressing.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna look at it. It's that depressing. That seriously sucked. I actually fucking hated using that. And you know what's so sad? By the end of the game, we had a bunch of ammo for it. And remember, before the final boss room, it gave us ammo for it.
it did.
And I like complained. I'm pretty sure I bitched at you about it too. Like I was so mad. There was machine gun ammo, shotgun ammo, and nail gun. No, there was no machine gun ammo. It was nail gun, revolver, and shotgun ammo. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which was again. I'm pretty sure I would just wanted machine gun ammo at that point. Because in my head I was like, oh, I'll just shoot the machine gun and win.
Which, like, I can accept the fact that it wouldn't be as effective as, of course, like, say, the shotgun or the if it was actually effective. But, like, you get what I'm saying. But, like, the fact that the shank was still more effective than the nail gun.
So,
kind of just...
as a firearms guy, you want the honest truth. In real life, if you disable the safety, like, on a nail gun, the thing that stops it from being able to not shoot like a gun, and you just start shooting it at people, it really isn't that effective. Like, if you get right up against, like, right up close to people, like about probably our distance or maybe even a little further, it'd be pretty effective. Like, I could kill you with it, sure. It would take a good amount of tries, but no. I'd actually use the revolver over it. And in fact, actually, I preferred it over it, which is sad because I really hated that revolver.
Yeah, it was pretty shitty.
Yeah, so, I mean, he used the revolver a lot, actually. Let's be serious.
So, I mean, like, overall, the weapon system was kind of underwhelming.
Definitely the first game's Arsenal was better.
Oh, yeah.
We should do a review of the first game, even though we've never played it.
Well, I've technically played it.
Actually, you've played it.
Yeah.
And I watched footage of somebody playing it in one go, and that was fucking awesome. The Arsenal is really great, actually. Though I have a couple weird complaints, but won't get into it. It's actually about the sniper rifle they give you in the game. It's got a night vision scope. No, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's talk about the monsters now. So, let's not talk about the bosses. Actually, no, the bosses will get brought up in gameplay, okay?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the actual base enemies. So to start this off, let's talk about the Death Maw. Let's talk about the obvious one.
Which was like one of, I believe it was the first enemy that you run into in the first game.
Yes.
And in this one, they're a little bit different. You know,
By design, they look different. Other than that, they basically play out the same.
Yeah.
That being said, that's the Death Maw.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like your basic enemy. You know,
it's literally your base Resident Evil zombie.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
Literally, it's just shambling. Shambles towards you, swings its metal arms at you, and that's it. Worms, I don't remember what they're called.
I don't remember
The
them
slugs.
either. The slugs or the worms. You could, I mean, like, if you play the game, you can tell what we're talking about when we're referencing the
They make
worms
funny
and slugs.
sounds. They
do.
crawl at you. They usually are in great numbers, about 3.
Yeah,
They die in one hit with any weapon in the game except the shotgun that one time.
They're annoying little bastards, and it's like they're easy to kill, but it's like if there's a lot of them, they can take you out pretty fast because you can easily miss them. And they can,
Oh
like,
yeah,
slip
and that
right
actually
behind you.
happened.
Yeah.
That actually happened to us. I think on a stairwell actually. Yeah. It was right after the village when we finally went back to the prison. Yeah, that was stupid. But with that being said, that's the worms. That's literally it. What else do you want from us? After the worms was...
I know there was.
Flesh cannons.
What was it?
Not the flesh cannons. You know what came after them? The ghosts.
Oh yeah, which you can't really fight. You know, you kind of just have to flee because if you don't, then they will either do damage to you, or they will transport you into like this like
Arena
essentially.
And you have to fight a couple ways with Death Maws. Really nothing too like fancy. It really isn't fancy. It's just like, oh, fight a couple Death Maws. It's like, okay, it's not that bad. It'll teleport you to the start of the area, and then you have to do it all over again. Not that great creatures. Like they're great actually. They create a nice little puzzle area, but once you've mastered the patterns, it's literally a cakewalk through the entire area. That's them.
Yeah.
The Banshees.
Yeah, the Banshee. I call them the Screaming Banshee heads. That's what I call them.
Because of that, I actually agree with them. They're Banshees. Fuck you. Fuck you and your opinion. It's wrong. It's Banshees. I still care about your feelings, kids.
Yeah. There we go.
So, with that being said, let's move on to the next enemy, which are the ice ghosts. Actually, you forgot the ice ghosts.
Yeah, which they essentially are
They're the void specters, but instead of teleporting you, they just damage you and frost you.
Yeah, which again you can't really fight them and kill them. You just kind of have to like get away from them.
And to real quick talk about them a little more, because I read the wiki on them, because I was curious. They only appear in the HD remaster on Steam. So if you guys want to experience them, try out the remaster, which is what we played, or just watch us. And flesh cannons.
Yeah.
Actually, no. There was an enemy before the flesh cannons, which was the bubbleheads.
Oh fuck, the mutated meatballs.
No, not those ones. The ones that like drop the eggs for the
Oh fuck, yeah, the floating Greedo
heads. Yeah. Yes. Pretty sure I misspelled Greedo's name, by the way, in the credits. Actually, I don't even think I spelled Greedo's name. I think I just spelled its actual name instead, because I could not care less about spelling Greedo's name right. Greeado. Greado.
Yeah, it's an easy name to misspell. So it's,
I'm a huge Star Wars nerd too, which actually hurts me more that I don't know how to spell a character's name off the top of my head. No, that's a joke. Not knowing how to spell a name off the top of your head. Whoa, it's almost like you're forgetful. But floating Greedo heads, literally shoot them, they explode, drop little eggs. You can break the eggs before they hatch into slugs. I think they also spit at you.
Yes.
Greedo heads. Flesh cannons, Greedo heads, but with more health and are on the ground and shoot at you.
Yeah, and laugh hysterically, like the Joker.
Oh, they also dodge it. They dodge your bullets.
Yeah.
That's all that needs to be said about them. I'm just doing speed round at this point, because we actually got a lot to go over.
I would say they're one of the more challenging enemies to fight.
You know what? We completely skipped an enemy type, which is security guards. They have more health than the Death Maws, and they're just reskinned Death Maws. Done.
Right.
That's it. Oh, they've done cool security guard gear. Right gear, actually, but done. That's them. What was next? Let's go with. Also, he has something to say about the funny ghosts. Something about their faces looking like masks.
Oh yeah. Should I actually say that or?
No.
Yeah.
You should probably
not.
apologize.
I'm not gonna apologize.
That's fair. They do look autistic with those faces. And I'm keeping all of that in. I told you, and then I proceeded to say the same bad thing that you said in the episode, which I never edited out.
Hey, comedy is comedy.
Sad. Gotta remember that. Anyways, so yeah. Then there's another type of banshee. Let's skip over that. Then you fight this big dude, right? You fight the big dude in the asylum still, and then he becomes an enemy that appears in the line again, like a couple times.
Right.
He really doesn't mean shit. You just run past him, literally. That's what we did. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so stupid. So yeah, there's a different type of banshee. That one spits at you, I think. It covers the screen like black shit. Kind of annoying. That's kind of it, actually.
Yeah, that covers it.
Oh, there's also the funny lobsters.
Oh yeah.
They only die by fire.
Otherwise, they're just damn near impossible to kill, basically.
Yeah, they're just annoying.
They you'll think they seize up, but then they get back up after like a few seconds.
Yeah.
So.
And that's about it, guys. Let's move on to gameplay. So let's talk about actual gameplay. Gameplay is fast-paced to an extent. Like, I feel like everything moves at a steady pace.
Yeah.
You get little notes that kind of like tell you what's going on, what you're kind of doing.
Which also kind of add layers to the main character, I feel.
Yeah, it shows that William is speaking to himself, which is fine. Also, we find notes from other people that tell the story of what's going on around us. And we also get other notes that or we find documents and stuff that tell us lore that helps us with the main game's plot, like stuff about the anguish, like the creatures of the anguish and stuff. which we're fighting back the anguish the entire game. We should probably talk about that. There's like a normal world and then the anguish world, which is actually hell, as we like to call it. If anybody saw that was Jeckles. He came back for a moment.
He's the best boy.
Yes, he is. With that being said, yeah, so that's kind of like the whole thing going on for the gameplay. Let's talk about bosses. Bosses, the gameplay. So, like, the first boss is literally gimmicky as shit. It's literally, oh, he jumps up and down and poisons you. That's it. Outside of that, he has a lot of health. You just kill him. Cool. Great.
I think the bosses, really just to give a general review, in my opinion at least, I think the bosses are as challenging as they need to be as you progress and stuff, because we talked about the weapons and how there's inconsistency with effectiveness and whatnot, but I don't think the bosses have that same problem. I think that
I think
that was done well.
They all have challenge to them that you can easily overcome. It's just a matter of figuring it out quickly.
Yeah.
I also think that they're a good fight, actually. Don't get me wrong, the first boss I said is gimmicky. That's just because there's nothing interesting about it. Outside of that, it's not a bad boss fight. Literally, it's an actual tanky fight.
Right.
Great. I actually like that.
Sorry about that.
I actually like that. It's great. It's just here's the start of the game. Here's something tough to fight it. The second boss is the Wendigo Witch.
Yes.
Let's talk about that, because that actually was unique.
That was unique, and it was fairly challenging too.
We had a couple moves to realize how to fight it.
Yeah.
I think the first few minutes of the fight, we really had no idea what the fuck was going on.
It was very trial and error.
Yeah,
sure.
Totally. I took damage like a motherfucker during that fight, because I fucking was being stupid and didn't realize what to do.
I think we even died once, didn't we? I think.
Was that our first death of the game? Yeah, it was.
I believe so, yeah.
No, it wasn't. Our first death of the game was in the cans. Yeah, getting to the frost one. No, it was the Wendigo Witch. I think it was actually the Wendigo Witch. Yeah. Either way, we probably could, next time we play the game on the DS, let's also challenge ourselves and only beat the game with one life. We don't die ever. Because we could easily do that, I feel like. Unless I miss a jump. Let's not get into that. You know what's so funny? In one of our early episodes, actually, I was joking around and saying, imagine doing parkour on the DS and how difficult that would be. And then at the end of the game, there was a parkour section, remember?
Yeah.
Which was so funny, because it's man, my words are really coming back to bite me. But no, the Wendigo Witch had a couple of moves that you need to learn. And it required you to use your guns. Yes, you could use the shank, but it didn't want you to. It wanted you to use the shotgun and the pistol, which is great. I actually loved that, and it was hey, this boss needs you to actually shoot at it.
It requires ranged attacks.
Yeah.
Which...
And the moments that you could try and swing at it were oh, it's actually going to pull you in and kill you. Which actually scared us our first time, remember?
Yeah.
It was faking being our wife, and we walked up to her, and it pulled us in and jump scared us.
Yeah, which was a neat little mindfuck.
Yeah, that actually really got us.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we both actually, not screamed, but we both grunted in fear.
Yes, absolutely.
It was a good boss, actually.
Yeah, it took forever to kill, but
it was fun though. Actually.
It was, yeah.
That was definitely a slow-paced boss. That was totally worth the time. Pretty sure we ran down our timer actually on that episode on the boss. Yeah, which was fine. That was fun. Yeah, we ran it down actually because we're trying to find the chest at the foot of the bed. My bad, because apparently it must not exist. Somebody please correct me. Don't tell me where it is. Just correct me and say there is one or not. We will find it eventually. That being said, let's talk about the next boss. The gameplay really picks up actually after the Wendigo Witch, in my opinion. We really started running around, figuring out where to go next, which was great. I liked that. I think that was really fun. We got to the next area. We really were moving on. And I think our next boss fight was the big dude. Actually, we did that. We had to shoot a shit ton of times with an AK.
And Was that the one where we also had to like be dodging stuff and like?
No, that's the next one after that. So the big guy was really anticlimactic. Like there's nothing unique about it. It was again another tanky one, which perfectly fine. Not bad. It's like, hey, just a reminder, there is actual skill required sometimes to play this game. I'm not gonna lie. At the end of that boss fight, I'm pretty sure I just shanked it to death. So
Yeah.
what can I say?
Not bad, but I'd say overall kind of forgettable compared to some of the other like the Wendigo Witch.
Oh, totally. And now let's get on to his boss fight, the fourth.
Right.
Well, the best boss fight. Let's be serious. We got chased by a big slug. The way to fight it is to throw dynamite at it.
Yep.
It took us how many runs to do that? Figure that out? 3, 2?
Yes, three. I believe it was 3.
We died a bunch.
And you also have to be dodging like obstacles while also trying to fight the boss.
Not only that, some of the obstacles will one-shot you.
Yeah. Because I believe there was
There was that
pendulum.
one, and then there was a saw that would come
Yeah.
down, right? That was fucked. No, the pendulum is the one that one-shot you. Yeah. That one was fucked. I liked it though. I thought it was cool. Not really gimmicky. Like, yeah, I guess you could say, oh, well, running and dodging shit's kind of gimmicky. But I don't know. I thought it was a cool boss fight. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
What was the next boss fight after that? Was it the final one?
I think so, because I don't remember a boss fight between that one and the final boss fight.
I don't either. Okay, so I guess let's get on to the final boss fight, and just like the first and third, not really that memorable.
Yeah.
It was a boss fight, to say the least. I feel like they wanted to do more with it, but they didn't. I feel like for a remastered game, it didn't feel good. Like, probably when we play the DS version, it's gonna feel a lot more intense.
Yes. And I mean, it was a bit more challenging than the first and third bosses, I'll say, but like I would definitely say the Wendigo Witch and the Slug was more challenging than the final boss.
Not only that, we also had the technical difficulties with my keyboard fucking
Right.
breaking. Which, by the way, I have another keyboard in place right now, a temporary one. I'm getting a new keyboard soon. Yeah, it's not getting into it. I'm okay, guys. I swear. $200. Love my life. Man, imagine having that. Also, I guess we'll put a footage of each of the boss fights behind me. Let's talk about more gameplay like puzzles. I actually liked all the puzzles. I thought they were really cute. And by cute, I mean they were simple and just really calm.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, hey, fast-paced gameplay, stop, relax, do a puzzle. Which I liked. The first puzzle was moving those things, the 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
That was really basic. That was okay. I think the next puzzle from there was the ritual knife one, which again was really basic. I thought it was nice, actually. The ritual knife one was cool. We did that one pretty quick, actually. Or no, we didn't really do that one quick because we had to figure the fuck out what we were doing, and we were idiots.
Because then we had the numbers on the dead bodies, right? Yeah.
No. That's the next one, actually. No, that one fucked with us too. That one was stupid as shit. No, it was one of the notes. Like it said, no, it's one of the postcards from William. He told us the code and we completely ignored it.
Yeah, that one.
And then I was like, "Hey, we're stupid," and we still fucked it up. I'm pretty sure. And then, so the one he's referring to is the next puzzle, and it's a room full of bodies, and it's like talking about who's like the best or something, their kill count or some shit.
Yeah.
And like each body had a number on them, and we didn't notice the notes because we're fucking idiots. So we were wandering around trying to find a code that was literally on the dead bodies in that room. But we went all the way back to the beginning of the game, remember?
Yeah. Wasted much time.
I think we spent an hour and a half recording that episode, actually.
Yep.
And then we condensed it down to, what, 40 minutes?
Sounds about right. So
we killed literally half the episode, which is hilarious to me. And, like, all the footage that we use is, like, literally the gameplay of the game itself. Like, there's nothing that's like extremely cut to save time. Like, if we cut something out, it's because it wasted your time, not just ours, but yours. to like make it so that way you're watching the video and you're actually seeing what's going on and like where to go, instead of us, spending 30 minutes backtracking through the entire game just to go back and realize we're stupid. With that being said, we went back up, we found the code, and then we went and did it. Simple puzzle, not too bad. My favorite puzzle in the entire game is the one in the mine. Do you remember that one?
Is that the one with the pipes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was nice. I thought it was. It actually reminded me, weirdly enough, I think of the Bioshock games, which used the hacking pipe mini game, if I'm not mistaken, which is like a lot of people don't like. I thought it was kind of neat. Puzzles were nice.
Yeah, I think that they were challenging enough without being like too overly difficult.
Yeah.
So I mean,
let's start with the graphics. Like, obviously, this is a remaster we're talking about, and
even but from what I remember, even before the remaster, just from remembering playing both the games on the DS, I thought the graphics were really well done too, especially for
its time,
yeah,
and for what it's on, for it being the Nintendo DS.
Because I think that today, and this isn't just with the Dementium games, this is with a lot of games. Like, you'll have people who go back and like look at the graphics and be like, "Oh, look how shitty they were." But it's like, well, yeah, they're gonna be shitty in comparison to today's. But it's like, for then, and especially if it's like if it's significantly good for that time, then
I have the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy. No shit. Actually, nobody knows this. I'm a huge fan of the Crash Bandicoot series. I also have the original on PlayStation 1. And I booted up the original on PlayStation 1, and like, my eyes had to adjust. Because I was like, whoa, I'm not used to old style graphics, apparently. And like, I played it, and I loved it. Obviously, no doubt it's my favorite childhood game. But as I was playing it, I was like, man, these graphics are fucking great. Because I was like, for its time, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Great game, looked amazing, still does, to be honest with you. And I think the Dementium series looks great. The remaster, to be honest, had its moments. On screen here, there is footage of me looking at a chair in the mine where the back of it was not rendered. A chair that you could walk behind was not rendered from behind. That is so Source, which is the Valve engine for like Half-Life 2. If you grab like if you play Garry's Mod, for example, and you grab the props for the trees of that game and you flip them upside down, there is no textured bottom to the tree because you don't see it. But it seems like what they did at Renegade Kid was they grabbed the game, ported it over, did like the 3D graphics, the newer stuff, right? And they didn't bother with some stuff. They tried to cut corners, which makes sense, saves money. I get it. Totally makes sense, and I totally respect that. But what I don't respect is when you cut corners and then you forget what you've done,
yeah,
and just like place something down that doesn't make sense. As for other little graphics things, I think the lighting is actually really great. There's a moment in the game where I noticed a skylight that was shining down. It looked really great, especially for what was it, 2012, 2011?
The second one, that was 2009.
That was 2009. Dude, it looks fucking great. That lighting looks like something you'd see in a newer game. And that's really weird for me to say that, but it just looks great. I like that. And I don't know why I had such a weird appreciation for it. Maybe because I was like, man, even the old school games had stuff that people praise more now. Like, I'm not saying that, really great realistic lighting is a newer thing and it's never been done before. Like, obviously it's been done before, but like, the way we appreciate it now is like, oh, but it's ray traced, so it looks fucking great. Maybe we should have appreciation for the older look, too. Because, like, it looks great. I think there were some things graphically that could have looked way better. And, like, some things from a distance looked... Hold on. Sorry about this. Technical difficulties again. From a distance, everything looks really fucking great, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think now we should touch on the ending and give a conclusion.
Yeah, so, the ending... I mean, my initial feelings are the ending is like absolute bullshit. I think that it's an ending that when you like initially finish it, it is kind of unsatisfying, and even now thinking about it, it's still kind of unsatisfying. But there's also different ways you can interpret it, though.
To show Steve what he means, let's both turn to show a little more of the green screen. Seacoaster, put the ending on screen. Just give it a second. Thanks, Seacoaster. Here. Fuck that. Fuck that. Whatever the fuck that was, fuck it. I'm gonna leave this green and open, so that way if somebody watches this and wants to make that a meme, that would be fucking solid as shit. Whatever this is, fuck that.
It's kind of a cop-out ending, and I mean, like, again, you can
interpret it in 15 ways.
Yeah.
However, I feel like the game gives you a solid, clear way to interpret it, which is that everything is an endless loop. That makes sense why William keeps leaving these postcards, right? One William leaves them behind, the other William grabs them and then gets put back, right? So I think that there's a clear way to interpret it. However, I also like to think maybe that this could be the beginning of another Dementium.
Right, which we never got, unfortunately.
I also would like to think... Let's actually, would you want to do a conclusion first, and then I'll throw out my crazy fan theory?
Okay. So I mean, for me at least, I think that Dementium is a great game. I mean, it's got its flaws, but what game doesn't? And I think that for the time that it was released in, I think again it was very ahead of its time. You know, in terms of like graphics and sound effects, and just for the fact that it's a horror game on the DS. You know.
So I'm going to say this. For anybody who owns a Switch, start begging Nintendo to fucking, like, port Dementium. I don't know how the fuck we're going to do it, but I want Dementium 1 and 2 on the Nintendo Switch, because it totally would be worth it. I'd buy it in a heartbeat, and it would also probably make recording it for videos way easier.
Dude, imagine if that game was on the VR.
That actually would be super slow. I want a really high quality remake, like HD remake of Dementium 1 on VR. That would be, that'd be, I'd actually play that. I would totally play it, record it all. Yeah, I'd play that in a heartbeat. But no, like, if you own a Nintendo DS, like if you're a collector or some shit, pick up Dementium 1 and 2. Play
Absolutely.
it. If you're a person with a 3DS that's a Nintendo eShop, they did do the Dementium 1 remake for the 3DS. So check that out too.
Might be kind of hard to hunt down now because I myself was looking at some prices and stuff. But I mean, like, if you're a collector, especially of like DS games and stuff and like retro games, then definitely pick this one up.
Find it, get it, play it. Worth your time, worth our time. In conclusion, I think it's a great game, and I think you should get your hands on it. Dementium 2, the HD remake. I'd actually recommend it. Like, if you're a collector of horror games, add it to your Steam library. Just do it. It's worth the time. If you never play it, that's fine. And I have to say this yet again. I don't know if he will watch the video. I don't care if you do or not. But Reanimator, I'm looking for you.
We see you.
Not like in a weird way, man. We're gonna play it. We're gonna do it. And I appreciate you.
Yeah, props to you for giving all the attention to a game that deserves it, you know.
We're trying to do what you're doing, but you also focus on it. And you seem like a cool dude. So maybe hit me up with a Discord or something. I don't know. I have an Instagram. DM me. Instagram on screen again. DM me, Reanimator. We'll do something. I don't know. Maybe. Fucking. With that being said, I also had another thing. Now my Chris Dan theory. Okay, so Dementium 3 is not going to be a remake of Dementium 2, but will begin Dementium 2 all over again, like that the loop continues. But instead, this William Redmore breaks the cycle. You know, like, he does something different, goes off the beaten path, and he makes it He defeats like the doctor, defeats the fucking Malatesta. That's the name of the final boss, Malatesta. Defeats Malatesta and fucking he's victorious. Yeah. That's a cool idea, huh?
Okay. I can wrap my brain around that one.
Yeah. Makes sense to me. Especially with like the hinting that it's like this is clearly another loop. I feel like, yes, it's up to interpretation, but I feel like that's got to be the obvious answer. Makes sense. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a gamer. I'm C. Custard.
Steve Trowbridge.
And thank you, everyone, for yet another lovely recording. Oh, hey, he's here. Hold on. We have Jeckles. Look at that. He returns. Well, we gotta send you back to the ward, so sorry, dude. Get back down there.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Sea Coaster, and I just wanted to real quick say that I am sorry for how long this took to make. Not only that, but things have been a little bit rough lately. I've been doing a lot and working through a lot of stuff, as well as I've been in between jobs. So videos are pretty slow in production. I have 4 videos to edit of Amnesia. I have like 2 extra little videos that I'm working on top of obviously this one, which the 2 other videos is sort of a little talk show that's being ran by me and 2 other people. And I'm also trying to get to work on like other personal projects that I want to record and upload. So yeah, thank you. Bye.